We had to get out of our house for a couple of days because we are having our kitchen floor done. So we are staying here at a friend's holiday home. He usually rents it out to hen parties or like large families, but he said that we could stay there while the work in our kitchen is being done, because obviously we can't use our kitchen and we need to cook and stuff. So he said that we could stay there very kindly. Things for Stef and I feel a bit strange right now because we're sort of on the cusp of this huge change that we know is going to happen, but there's still so much uncertainty that surrounds it. Like, we've committed to it, but at the same time it's like we know we're going to move, but we don't know when. We also don't know where. We don't know whether to go further down south for the warmth or stick a little bit further north. We don't know whether we are going to end up by the coast and have somewhere smaller, or go further inland and have somewhere with a bit of land. We don't know if we're going to buy or if we're going to rent for a few months or if we're going to travel for a bit. We don't know if we're going to end up homeschooling or putting the kids into a Portuguese school. We really don't know. I guess a big one as well is that we don't know if we're going to regret it or if we're going to wish that we stayed in the UK. And I think there'll be points when we've moved where we all miss different things about being at home. We'll miss our friends and the area and, you know, just being around English speaking people. So there's a lot of uncertainty. But I think this feeling of like fear and nervousness is, you know, it's all tied up in the feeling of excitement as well. It's like we know we want something new and we know we want to completely change the way that we live, and you know, we want a slower paced lifestyle. We want to be outside more. So we know that moving has a lot to offer that we want to bring into our lives, but it's also just all wrapped up in fear.
Our life is pretty public anyway, so I may as well just tell you how much we're considering selling this house for. We're going to try and sell it for about £1 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but sadly the bank will be pocketing most of that. Plus they've told us that we have to pay tens of thousands of pounds to end our mortgage early. It's our fault though. We didn't spot the storm clouds on the horizon. We bought this house 4 years ago now, when it was bright and sunny, when the interest rates were basically like a shirt button and a raspberry. We had constant work coming in and some savings for a rainy day, and then somebody sneezed and suddenly we all found ourselves under house arrest, and that rainy day lasted 2 years. But I won't dwell on it too much because I get quite cross about all of that, and I don't want to sound like a Tinder date who can't stop venting about her narcissistic ex. Come on, G. I sat in A&E with Grayson the other day for 8 hours because he finished school and was crying when I picked him up, saying his stomach really hurt, and I thought he was just trying to get out of jiu-jitsu at first because he always has a mystery injury whenever it's jiu-jitsu day. Yeah, they did blood tests, they did urine tests, they did everything. We sat there for 8 hours and they were like, yeah, well basically you can go home. We can't really see anything, nothing wrong with you. Yeah, Hannah thinks it's trap wind, A&E for trap wind.
Sometimes trap wind is really brutal. So yeah, there's lots of uncertainty and lots of unpredictability, but it's also an adventure and something that we will all remember forever. And I really do think that it's going to bring us together as a family, because we will all be supporting each other through all the ups and downs and all the like beautiful moments and all the stressful moments. And yeah, I think it's going to be really good for us. And who doesn't want some adventure in their lives, right?
I've done the maths on how many you've sold, how many bookmarks you've sold. So some people bought 2 and some people tipped you. I added it all up and it's come to £99.47 worth of bookmarks. There are 2 types of parents. There are parents that kids look at and think, I want to be like that one day. I want to be like my mum, or I want to be like my dad. I want to end up like that. The other type is, that's exactly how I don't want to end up. That's exactly what I don't want to be. Both are motivational for kids. But for me personally, I want Grayson to look at me. I want him to think, I want to be like Dad one day. He's basically a miniature me. Like how his mind works is just how I just see so much of myself in that kid. So that's why I'm constantly trying to like, stoke that entrepreneurialism in him, because I just know that he probably won't fit into a conventional job. Now this is your gross income. So that is basically the total amount that you've made. Mm-hmm. But out of that 99.47, we need to take off the shipping. Okay? Then once you've got taken off your shipping, what you're left with then is the net income. Okay? Yeah? I reckon it won't be much. I reckon you're about £15 worth of shipping on that. So you would have made probably about £80.
Wait,
I reckon
don't
£85.
I already have 70?
Yeah, you got 70 in your savings account plus that there. So you're well on the way. Anyway, so that's why I'm sort of trying to nurture this side of Grayson a little bit with these bookmarks, trying to subtly teach him, how it all works. Because there's really no excuse these days for doing something like this. For instance, these blackout cards here took me about 7 weeks. From the initial, I'm going to do a set of 250 conversational talking point cards, to having a prototype made and a distribution line set up. It just goes to show that all it takes is an idea and then you acting on that idea.
Can I get the Oculus 2? Please.
Do you not want to get the Oculus 3?
No, because if I get the Oculus 2, then me and Alex can play together.
But even if you get the Oculus 3, it's a little bit better graphics and you can still play.
I know, but please, Dad, just the Oculus 2, because then I can get it sooner.
Yeah, but would you rather not wait and get something a bit better?
No, I just really want the Oculus 2, because it's 160.
Well, you've got some work. You've got some homework to do. You need to write out the addresses of all of these people on envelopes so we can send them your bookmarks. Okay?
Okay.
But for me, the secret sauce of any business is to create something which can actually make a difference, or addressing a problem, something out there that you don't like, so you create something to fix that thing. And what I don't like is our addictions to screens. Did you know that kids who spend on average 3 hours a day on social media have double the rates of mental health issues?
Adolescents who spend more than 3 hours per day on social media have double the rate of mental health issues like anxiety and depression.
So it's a big problem, and I don't want to preach about any of this because I am completely and utterly addicted to my phone, and I can quit alcohol. I cannot seem to quit my phone. My brain is just completely hooked on this thing. So that for me was a big problem that I wanted to fix. And out of that problem, I created these because I wanted to create something which was an alternative to screen time. Because as great as it would be to put like a warning on social media platforms that for kids, it doesn't address the actual problem itself, that there's a neurological process going on in our brains which is stimulated that needs something else to stimulate it in a different way. It's the same part of your brain that's stimulated when you're playing the blackout cards, because you're thinking of answers, you're thinking of replies, and it's keeping the brain active.
Who are you always happy to see each day?
I wanted to create something that would allow adults and kids alike to transition off screens in a way that isn't just healthy but brings people together, that connects people. What's the net profit? It is the total amount after
the shipping?
Yeah. Good boy. Okay, cool.
Are you filming now?
Yeah. And for me, that's like the holy grail of a business. The holy grail is to create something that you can be deeply proud of, that you know is making a profound difference to people's lives. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much to everybody for supporting me with this. Everything's all set up and ready to go now. By the time you watch this, the products are with the distribution company, so we're all good. The business is now rolling and we're no longer on pre-order. So yeah, if you want to order some, go to blackoutcards.com. I'll link them somewhere down below. And next week I'm going to start working on the next edition, which is the couples edition. So stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to do translated ones as well. So I got big plans.
Thank you so much.
Right, write them a letter. This pyramid is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a theory developed by a chap called Abraham Maslow back in 1943. It's a pyramid with 5 levels of needs that conceptualize human motivation. Starting from the bottom, each level represents a different set of needs. It ranges from psychological, which is like your basic needs like food and water and air and warmth and shelter. And then you've got safety, which is basically just feeling safe. And then you've got social, and that's just like having friends and family and like a supportive network of people around you. And then you've got like self-esteem needs, and this is like where you feel valued and appreciated. And this is where most of us spend our whole lives. But we spend it here feeling like there's something else, like there's something missing, there's something more to all of this. Because there's another level. We'll never be able to transcend to number 5 unless we're brave enough to let go of everything we've spent our whole entire lives striving for, because that's the price you have to pay. Your new life will cost you your old one. We could always stay in the UK, we could move somewhere smaller, we could keep grinding and hustling and complaining about food prices and our corrupt inept government, or we could reject it and show anybody else out there who also wants to reject it how to reject it too, who to talk to, how to set up passive incomes, how to make it work for you. We'll be like the first lemmings to jump. We'll let you know if it's safe, we'll let you know if we make it alive. I think only then if we do the jump, if we take this jump, if we sell everything and just start again, only then can we get to the final level of this pyramid.